Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and I wanted to talk about tribalism. You know, tribalism is something that we hear a lot about today, and perhaps we don't totally understand what it is, although we should. Tribalism, basically, if we go back to the history of man, throughout our existence, which we are not totally sure how long we've been here on this earth, but the thing is that in ancient times, in pre-ancient times, in prehistoric times, in the beginnings of man, there would be a group together in a cave or building huts or whatever it may be, and they were a tribe. And this tribe would have very, very well-defined understandings of what they liked, what they didn't like, how they would dress, how they would think. If they had a religion, it would be defined by that tribe. Now, all over the world, there were millions of these tribes, groups. And if you think about it, if one of the tribes happened to wander off, like let's say one member, and they went to another tribe, most probably they would be killed because their ideologies, their thoughts, their understandings would be completely different than how the other tribe thought. And this would go on for a long time, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years, maybe a million years. And then only in the last 10,000 years or so, tribes and peoples started coming together. And they started communities. And those who had a similar line of thought, a similar way of looking at things, perhaps a religious ideology that somehow worked well between them. And they would form larger tribes and larger, what would become countries and civilizations. Now, that's all well and good, but look at the world today. What has happened today is we've regressed because of something called the internet. The internet has been a profound and influencing item to change the very nature of man. Because first off, we are surrounded by those who think as we do. You have your social networks, which do nothing but amplify your beliefs. Someone in there who doesn't believe is attacked. And that's what's happening right now. We have broken into small tribes. Some not too small, some very small. But in these tribes, they have a common ideology. They have a common way of thinking. They have a common idea of a religious thought, whatever that religious thought might be. And today, sometimes political thought has become their religious thought. So therefore, you have these organizations of people who have become tribes. And they are enhanced by social network because they surround themselves with people that think the same as they do. Be it the left, be it the right, be it the middle, be it the far right and the far left. I mean, you name the ideal, the sense or the desire, and you'll find some group that's enhancing it. So what has happened now? Once we started getting together, of course, bringing all of our tribes together, 10,000 so years ago, some tribes would get together, others would not, and they would have wars because they didn't see things the same. They didn't see anything the same. And now, take a look at things. Our political ideologies, our social ideologies, our sexual ideologies, and our intellectual ideologies have all broken into tribes. And each one of these modern tribes is surrounded in a bubble with nobody but whom they appreciate. Therefore, their thought is constantly reinforced, and there's never a dissenting or challenging opinion. And if there is, they will destroy them right away, just as they did, 800,000 years ago. Be it on the left or be it on the right, doesn't matter. But here's the major problem, that we have broken into so many different tribes. And let's face it, the internet is a wonderful resource for research and knowledge and communications, but also it is turning into a weapon and being used by various tribes to destroy other tribes. It's a pretty dangerous and messy situation we're in, because this is just going to escalate unless it is checked. But how are you going to change it? We are reverting back to what we were long ago. Many of us don't realize it, but we are. And we have all of the various devices to think for us. Therefore, we're not really thinking too much. We're not putting a great deal of thought. We're looking at that stupid internet to guide us on how we think. And I'm saying stupid basically because any group that just sits there and does nothing but think its own way is stupid. Because what you need to do is to look at every part of it and get a general consensus and view, and then you can modify your understandings. But if you are reinforced and constantly told the same babble, you will do nothing but regress. And that's where we stand today. Pretty amazing when you think about it. Can you imagine such an advanced society as we think ourselves regressing so pathetically? But that's where we are now. How do we solve it? How do we fix it? I don't know. I'm not even sure if it is fixable. But something has got to happen, and I don't want it to go further toward tribalism, because if it does, it will eventually lead to violence. It's almost there now in many respects if you see it. And you have all this kindling of tribes, and it's waiting for the proper spark. So how do we handle this? How do we fix it? Ideas should abound, and I think every group that has only one opinion on certain things, be it political, because in many respects, politics has become a religion to a lot of people. And they will destroy anyone who thinks opposite to how they think. And they'll do it basically through the internet, through bullying, through nasty tactics. Once again, on the right and on the left. Let's hope we get our sanity back. Let's hope this world stops being such a nutty, screwed up, and rather dumb group of individuals in their tribes. Let's hope. Let's think. Let's look at each other and say, hey, maybe you have an idea that I should know. And maybe I'm not thinking quite straight on this. That's what we need to do. We need to learn all over again how to work together. Because of the internet, we have totally forgotten. Thank you.